Well, I'm Joshua Schroet,
I'm Audrey Schroet.
and we've been attending Crosspoint since 2017, so about 8 years.
There were many reasons we initially came to Crosspoint. We felt like there was something here for everyone in our family. The biggest one being our son at the time was in his later high school years, and we were part of a church that didn't have a young adults program. And so knowing that's where he was headed, we were interested in that, but also just looking to be spiritually fed as a couple, and then also a place where we felt comfortable bringing our special needs daughter. And Crosspoint hit it for us in all of those areas.
I think for me, the difficulty was truly trusting in God with what He wanted us to do. With finances, it's always been a struggle for me. And it's probably one of the first times I made that very uncomfortable decision to go ahead and do that. And I'll tell you, when we were sitting over at the Richard Nixon ballroom going through the whole deep and wide ceremony, I was sitting there with knots in my stomach with a card in my hand thinking this is the hardest thing for me to do. But after I was able to check that box, knowing that God was speaking to me in that time saying, this is what you need to do, and put it in there, it was almost a bit of a relief where God said, I got this. We were sitting in church and I looked at Audrey and I just said, I think we can do more. Our initial giving was a big step, but looking back at it, it was a comfortable step, but it was still a big step. But then I felt, hey, we can do a little bit more. Let's give a little bit more back that God has blessed us with, and it was an easy decision.
And so I needed to let him get to a place where he was more comfortable and on board to give. God just worked in huge ways that he wanted to give, above and beyond even what I did. So it's been cool to see the transformation. For me personally, that was a huge part of being able to relinquish some of that we were holding back, because we know anything can change, and that would just be a conversation in the future if we needed to change our giving, and so it came from a good place.
Deep and Wide has strengthened our marriage because I believe it's brought us more of a trust in every aspect of our life. The praying together, just talking to each other is always a good thing, because I think that's one of those things that we forget to do at times, is talk to each other. And, I think the biggest thing would be the opening up the communication with each other.
I would agree. And reassurance of being the wise and letting you lead and seeing what God had planned all along, because it's definitely not our timetable, but it's God's. And it's been just a really cool thing to see. We would love to see you just give faithfully through Deep and Wide and see how God can bless you.